like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero?
All right, welcome everybody. My name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before and this is your first time, I hope you find something that interests you, something that keeps you coming back. And if you've been here before and you enjoy the content, I appreciate that you continue to come and say hello. If you just hit the like button and let me know that you were here, that'd be awesome. You know, I wanted to hop on for a little bit and just talk. Just talk. Don't really want to talk about the hearing. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. That's fine. I'm not going to be very long tonight anyway. I appreciate you being here, though. Hope you're doing well. You know, I've had a heck of a day today. As you all know, I work in juvenile justice, and I went to 2 court hearings and did some transporting to detention centers, and so I've been all over. It's been a very stressful, eventful type of day. My bad. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I'm not sure is an issue in your area, but it seems to be an issue that's growing fastly with the youth of today that I've noticed. And one of those issues is guns, gun violence. It's almost like the youth of today just do not realize how quickly gun violence can make something come to an end very quickly. You know, so I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about if you have noticed that more young adults are carrying weapons, if they're fearing for their lives or their safety. Um, I have noticed that they're becoming a lot more volatile with these guns, even to carry them just to drive around town. You need a gun in your vehicle or you need a gun on your person. And that's kind of scary when you have an unstable, hormone driven individual that's quick tempered to be having such a firearm in their possession. And they're not only carrying guns, they're they're under the influence most of the time. So their capability of understanding reality versus illusion is very thin. So somebody makes them mad, somebody cuts them off, somebody threatens their security, so to speak, that gun comes out. And they're even firing at each other. They might not be hitting each other, but they're firing at each other. They're shooting all the way around each other just to make a point. And it seems to be growing more and more by the day. Let me know in chat if y'all experience any of this. I mean, I don't know where you're from as far as the demographics, but I don't know if this is just a US problem or it's all over problem. Okay, absolutely said in Austria there's a growing use of knives and machetes in youth crimes. Okay. Hello, Rondi. Hello, Social Glow. I appreciate your comment. We're just not going to talk about the hearing today. We're not going to talk about it. I will eventually talk about it, possibly, but not tonight. I'm too tired to even think about it. We're talking about the growing number of gun violence that's going around with the youth. And it's it's um it's kind of disturbing, actually. It's like it's not just with the youth, though. I mean, but I work with the youth, so therefore I see a lot of it more with the youth. I mean, I'm sure it did with the adults as well. Heck, you turn on the news and you hear about Chicago nightly. A lot of people losing their lives to guns. I don't want to come across as an anti gun person because I have a gun and I believe in guns. I believe that, as long as you're responsible, you should be able to carry a weapon. But, there's a lot of irresponsible people that are carrying these weapons. 6 plus 6, huh? Hey, Jeff. You know, like I was telling the chat, there's 3 people that got locked up today just by carrying weapons, guns. One of them was actually shooting the gun at another person. And had the wrong individual been around and a stray bullet would have hit them and killed them, then they would have been charged with manslaughter. But they don't think about that. They don't think about the consequences. Tell me Tell me a little bit, Rondi, you and Jeff. I know absolutely's from Austria or Australia. I don't know whichever one. Social Glow, I don't know if you're from the States, but do y'all have this kind of problem in your community with gun violence or aggravated cases where people are holding people up and stealing their vehicles or, you know, robbing them at gunpoint? Because it seems to be very violent these days for whatever reason. And I don't know, you can't really blame it on anything because violence has been around since the beginning of time, you know? You know, and the first murder that's been recorded was done with a rock, you know? So, whether it's a gun, whether it's a stick, whether it's a knife, it really doesn't matter. I always feel it's the intent of the individual. Tell me what y'all think. Do you think evil is evil regardless of what weapon they use to carry out that evilness? Or do you believe that people have a certain weapon of choice when they carry out these crimes? You know? I'm just kind of asking questions tonight because I like to hear your feedback on things rather than getting up here and just speaking and speaking and speaking. Because this this live is for you, it's not for me. You're the reason I do this, not because of myself. I do it to not only educate, but also at times when I'm being silly, entertain. But tonight I'm talking about a subject that not many talk about, and that is youth violence. And I believe that this weekend maybe I'll show a video about it. Grew up in a very protected area after living in these kind of areas, moved back after getting work transfers. Okay. I mean, you have to be mindful of everything you do. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never been the type of person. Hey Kim, how you doing? I've never been the kind of person that has ever thought that somebody younger had the capability of hurting me or wanting to hurt me for as little as my vehicle or a couple dollars in change. But they're out there, they're out there, and you cannot turn your back on even the youngest ones because it seems like they're just as violent. I think our youngest client that we have right now is 11 years old. 11. Some of the kids that I counsel, they've been smoking weed since the age of 9, 7. Yes, or shoes. And you ask yourself, what is going on? What is going on? Any suggestions, guys, from the chat? Y'all wanna pipe in a little bit? Y'all want to give me some feedback? What your theories are on how the violence has increased over time? Yes, 11 years old. So very sad. It's difficult because you see them and they're so innocent looking, but they flip a switch and they're the most violent individual you've seen in a long time. Kim said it's the food. You believe our food is making people a lot more violent? Chemicals. Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. You know, as far as our food, you're right. There is a lot of chemicals, there's a lot of preservatives, there's a lot of different things. And, kids are not eating as healthy and they're not getting the minerals and the vitamins that they should. So, why couldn't this create a chemical imbalance, right? Kids are bored, parents working or distracted. That's it. That's pretty good. Yeah, I can dig it. Jeff says, I think it's the videos and visual programming sometimes with kids nowadays. And I was a kid, I watched the Flintstones, and there's life lessons in those shows. Yeah, they call us prehistoric dinosaurs now, Jeff, though. We're prehistoric dinosaurs. I do still, and I begin at home. Overworked parents. Very good. Violence has become the norm where I live. We have police and trauma counselors here because of the stabbing. Oh my gosh. Hope hope you were okay. I mean, it's just terrible. But do you remember back when the first time that we heard of a school shooting? I think the first one I heard of was Columbine. I think Columbine was the very first one that I remember hearing about. And when you heard of Columbine, you kind of thought, what in the world could have gone so wrong that these kids had to shoot up the school? You know? And and then after that, I think it was Jonesboro, and then on and on and on and on. Now, I think the one that really got people's attention again would have been Sandy Hook because of the ages of the children, and then Uvalde. But after that, it's almost like people go back into their shell in their mind and they forget that it could happen to them. Lack of discipline. I like that. I can dig it. Definitely unrestricted access to content. Yes. I taught where my kids went to school and that will always be my priority. Yeah. Lack of discipline. Got attacked by an 11-year-old on day 3 of school. Yeah. You know, we see these individuals come before us, you know, and we want to protect the community because that's our job. And when we're about to lock up their loved ones, you know what they do? They turn on us. The families turn on us, and they start making excuses for their loved ones, and they start blaming us that we're the problem, that we're picking on them, that we're um, profiling, or we have something against our loved ones. When all we're trying to do is keep these potential statistics off the streets. And it's sad to to know that there's so many kids with guns. I mean, you don't know if you're gonna pull up next to a kid who's high and they think it's hilarious to start shooting at your vehicle, even if they don't hit you. How intense might that be? And like you said, Kim, they have no respect for authority whatsoever. They'll cuss you out, they'll smart off to you, they'll be sarcastic, they'll start mimicking you, they'll start doing all these things when all you're trying to do is help them. All you're trying to do is help. And that seems to be the norm in a lot of areas in our lives, in our society. It's almost like teachers aren't teachers anymore. They're social workers or they're police officers. I mean, to have to carry a gun into school, if you would have told me when back when in the dinosaur ages, when I went to school, there's no way I would have like thought that a teacher would ever have to carry a gun. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Had a day today with behaviors and it's only day 7. Help you. I'm so sorry for that. I totally get it. You spend 8 hours with them, I spend an hour with them and some change. And I tip my hat to you, Kim. I don't know how you do it. I mean, their mouths are so bad. It's like they can't carry on a conversation without cussing every other word. But then you see the parents and you see exactly where it comes from. But don't you dare call out the parents because then you're in trouble. Because how dare you try to tell somebody how to parent their child? They're good at home. You must be doing something to them up here to upset them. Yeah. And that's another thing. That's another thing that happens is, you call the parents because you need them to come and, sit down in front of you. They're always sick. They always have a car problem. Or like Kim says, they don't answer the phone at all. And these kids stay waiting for these parents for hours. And sometimes the parents don't ever show. So you're stuck with their child because it's your responsibility until they get off the school grounds or off the probation grounds. They're your responsibility. Yeah, car problems is the biggest one. Or they have a flat tire. My car wouldn't start. We only have one car and it's not here, so I can't come. And how come you're always calling me at work? I gotta work. I can't be answering the phone every 5 minutes because my child is acting up. Don't you know how to take care of them? Don't you know how to handle it? Well, it's not our job to raise these children, but you can't turn your back on them because then you have chaos and turmoil in society that is unprecedented, you know? Man, I've made many a parents mad, not because I intended to, but at one point the parent has to take accountability, you know? Where does the duty of care fall if the parents ignore their calls? Well, we just keep calling until they answer, or we go down the list of approved people that have um, the ability to come pick them up, whether it be grandma, whether it be aunt, uncle, sister, whoever. Somebody's going to answer. But you start talking to the parents, and the parents lose their temper, and they start cussing you out, and then you know exactly where the kid gets it from. You know exactly where it comes from. I mean, you've seen videos of these children, and I'm not blaming the kids because they are a product of their environment. I give them probably 10% of the blame, and I give the parents 90%. But also, these parents have been dropping the ball for a while because they quit learning how to parent. They believe that they can't discipline, so they have to be the child's friend. They enable their behaviors, or they don't have consequences in place for them. And when you have that going on, it's a losing battle because we're not the child's parent. These children aren't going to listen to us. They don't listen to their parents. How are they going to listen to us? But we do what we can. And for some of us that are in these fields, if you can just reach one, we can just reach one. Hopefully, that one will reach out to many more as time goes on. You know? Yes, it is. It is a sad case. And here's something else that I want to talk about tonight because I've seen a lot of this in the news as well. Maybe not in the news, but I've seen it on YouTube, so it might as well be the news. These young teachers taking advantage of these children, molesting them, sending nude pictures and videos to these kids, grooming them. And you say, well, that would have been awesome having a teacher do that to me. But think about the harm that it does to that child. Yeah, you're right, Rondi. Think of the damage that it does to that child. I'm sure you'll connect with them before the year's out. You have great patience, it looks like. At least on camera, you portray to be somebody that listens well. But don't you agree that these teachers should have harsher sentences than probation or maybe a year or two locked up? I saw the other day when one only had to register as a sex offender for 10 years. So after 10 years, it's almost like she didn't do anything wrong. You know? While the males have to register for life most of the time. So what keeps the females from having to do the same? You know, it's like they groom these kids, they're unhappy in their marriages, and these young boys or girls give them something that they're lacking in their marriage, and they ruin these kids for their selfish act, in my opinion. Yes, but there's been such a shortage on teachers. They're hiring straight out of college, 23, 24, 25 years old, you know? That's too close to like, they shouldn't be teaching in junior high or high school. They should be teaching in elementary if they're that young, you know? Exactly, social glow. What are they drinking? What gives them the understanding that it's okay to groom a child and take advantage of them just for your selfish nature? Thank you for being here. Absolutely. Glad to see you again. Hope that you have a good night and hope to see you again soon. You don't need a degree to substitute anymore in Ohio. Oh, that's part of it, I would think. So somebody shows up off the street, they say, I want to be a substitute. They do a background check at least, or do they just say, okay, we'll put you in the classroom? It's disturbing. Let me see if I can pull up one of those videos and show you guys. Let me see. I'm trying to see the one that. Yeah, this one's pretty bad right here. I think this one. Have y'all heard of Brittany Zamora? A warm body and a background check. That's all that matters. Let me play this one right quick. Because this one's pretty disturbing. This lady is pretty disturbing if you ask me. In my opinion, she's pretty disturbed. Here we go.
She was a good teacher.
What type of perverted person are you? I want to know right now.
She said he started kissing me, so I kissed her.
Have you done anything with your teacher?
Can we meet, to talk about things?
Did you have sex with your teacher?
Miss Zamora?
Brittany Zamora.
You're a child molester. Do you understand me?
She made a huge mistake, the biggest mistake of anybody could ever make.
Young, beautiful, in love. Seeking adventures with her new husband.
What are we doing? Skydiving?
A teaching career taking off.
The kids loved her.
By all accounts, Brittany Zamora's life was a fairy tale.
I mean, how do you go from that to breaking the law?
That would soon become a nightmare.
How long do I stay in jail for?
A predator in the classroom. Her credentials appeared impressive on her resume. Brittany Zamora graduating with honors from ASU, a 4.0 grade point average for both her undergrad and graduate school years, a successful teacher at Littleton Elementary School, where she says she was named Teacher of the Year in 2016 and Teacher of the Month in 2017. She was in the process of getting her master's degree in educational administration. Considered such a good teacher, her assistant principal at Littleton Elementary encouraged her to come with him when he became principal at Las Brisas Academy.
So I was the one that told her, hey, there's a 6th grade position open at that school that,
Let me take back what I said about them having to teach elementary, because I don't know if 6th grade is considered junior high where you live, but here it's considered elementary. It's like the last grade before junior high here.
she knew I had gotten a job here, and she was a good teacher, and I thought she'd be a great fit, and I thought she'd be good.
Principal Timothy Dickey says Zamora worked well with students.
Welcome to practice. Yeah.
It was here at her new job at Las Brisas Academy in the fall of 2017 where police say Zamora, who's married, began to groom one of her students, a 13-year-old boy in her class. In an interview with police, the boy describes the first time they texted over a classroom messaging app, and it started on a day she would be absent from her job. What you're about to hear are the actual words from the boy during a police interview. We've altered the recording to protect the child's privacy.
Before we all left, she said, hey guys, I'm going to be at school, so if you get bored, text me, because I'll be really bored. And I said, hi, Miss Nora, and then she texted back, hi, and then we just started texting.
The texting goes on that day and beyond, and the boy says it turned into flirting.
Tell me everything about the flirting. Start at the beginning and walk me through it so I understand about the flirting.
I don't remember how it got really intense, but we would flirt and say she would be like, oh yeah, I love you, and I would tell her I love her too. And then she would talking about how she wanted to do stuff with me, and I would tell her that I wanted to do that too.
So how do you get to that point, guys? I mean, honestly, how do you? It's a 6th grader gets more action than me right now. I mean, come on, man. Maybe that's why I'm single, because all the teachers or professionals are going after their clients or their students. I'm just messing right now, but it's just terrible. How do you get to that point? He's telling her he loves her, and she's saying, I love you too. Come on, bro.
According to police, there were at least 4 encounters between Zamora and her student that were, quote, sexual in nature.
The first time we kissed, I was saying bye to her and I gave her a hug and she started kissing me, so I kissed her back.
The boy says Zamora would call him in the middle of the night and twice snuck out and met her in her car for sex acts.
Yeah, we're texting, and then we were texting, and then I told her that I was at my grandparents' house, and she said, let me come over. I said, LOL. And then with laughing, and I put heart emojis. And then she's like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, okay. But before that, we called before.
So she came over, and
I went into her car though. She parked at the other end of the street, and she said, okay, I'm here. And then I just walked outside.
I mean, even though his voice is hidden, he still sounds young. Yeah, she's married. You're right. She's married.
Sexual encounter happened on campus in her classroom after a school talent show.
We were doing a talent show thing, and I was saying bye. We were about to walk, and I was saying bye, and then I grabbed my backpack, and my friend was messing with her computer, and then she's kissing me and everything, and she's like, you want to go in? And I was like, what? And she's like, you want to go in? And I was like, sure. And then the same thing, I didn't take my pants off or anything, but she was wearing a dress, so she just pulled her underwear to the side, and then I was in there for a minute, and then I was like, I don't know, I was like, all right, I gotta go.
I was one of the witnesses, or one of the people that saw Ms. Zamora and my friend touch each other.
That's wow. I have no words for that. How about y'all? Do y'all have words for what you just heard? That is disturbing in so many ways. So many ways. How could you be her husband listening to this?
Was Miss Morris saying anything?
No, they're just doing it. It was very uncomfortable. So that's why the second day they're doing stuff, I just left the room.
The second boy would detail an inappropriate encounter that he also had with Zamora.
And Ms. Zamora asked me if my thing was uncircumcised or circumcised, and I didn't know what that means. So Ms. Zamora went on her phone and looked up uncircumcised and circumcised.
He says Zamora never went beyond inappropriate remarks with him.
She hasn't touched me or anything.
But she would touch the first victim. Screenshots of their chat show they were explicit. In one of them, Zamora talks about wanting to quit her job and have sex with the boy all day. The interaction between the 27-year-old teacher and 13-year-old boy is so intense, students started to notice and reported it to the school principal in February of 2018.
What the heck, man? Yeah, 6th grade boy, 13 years old. So he must have been a little older to be in 6th grade, I think. And by the time you're 13, I think you should be in like 8th grade, right? So 12 would be 7th grade, 11 would be 6th grade. Wow. Yeah, 27 and a 13-year-old.
Like I had those 3 students come forward in early February.
Okay.
They gave me a written statement, and I started investigating.
Principal Timothy Dickey, the man who recruited Zamora because of his high regard for her teaching skills, now looking into sordid rumors.
I pulled multiple students and asked them questions, and didn't really get a lot of information. I got a lot of, that she favors him, he gets away with more things than other kids. I was getting consistent stories from all of them. These are rumors, kids shouldn't be saying these things, this could affect your career. It's the same type of thing. Kids spread rumors and kids say things, and it's kind of common as an administrator, and that's typically what it ends up being.
Well, I understand kids spread rumors, but would they be spreading those kind of rumors? Come on. They wouldn't be spreading those kind of rumors. You really have to get under a kid's skin and really pick on them and make them really embarrassed or ashamed for them to be spreading those kind of rumors. They usually make fun of you or whatever, but they don't spread sexual rumors or innuendos.
You know what I mean?
Dickey takes notes about the students' concerns. Everyone talks about them having an inappropriate relationship outside of class and at recess. I've heard other kids in my class say that they think they are dating. The day after, Principal Dickey addresses the students in Zamora's class.
The first thing I did was that I commended the 3 students that came to me and gave me a written statement and said, those 3, I didn't specifically give names, but I said those students that came to me did the right thing. However, the students that are spreading rumors and talking amongst each other, that doesn't help anybody, and that doesn't lead to any solutions. So,
hey Kim, I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Do y'all have those kind of apps that he was talking about, where you can communicate with your with the student like outside of school? See, I've always been told that we're not allowed to have any communication with our clients via social media or anything unless it's been 2 years or beyond since they were a client or something of that effect. So I didn't know if y'all had those. I would think they were mostly be for the parents, not the child, though. I could be wrong.
as all this has come out, like some of them were blaming him and couldn't wrap their head around the fact that she's,
That it can't be his fault.
mhm.
Zamora rushes to talk to him.
She started crying eventually, and she said, I don't know. The only two things I care about in my life are, my husband and my career.
So did you ever talk to any parents about the rumors?
I didn't, and I didn't. That was one that I didn't want to blow it up,
But things would blow up.
Miss Amora?
Brittany Zamora.
You're a child molester. Do you understand me?
Video PD.
A week after crying to her principal, Brittany Zamora would ask the boy to sneak out of his grandparents' home for sex acts. Because while Principal Dickey was looking into the matter, so were the boy's parents.
I got the app on my son's phone.
Okay.
We got him a new phone, and he was wanting to shut his door at night. And we told him, you stay with the door open. So on his phone, it has the child version,
okay,
and mine has the parent version.
Okay.
So any keywords that I put in to look for, whenever it comes through his phone and message, pictures, anything like that, it will send me an alert. So yesterday I got the alert and I kept getting alerts back to back because the word baby kept being used. But this time I saw at the bottom that it had Mrs. Zamora Instagram profile.
Okay.
That's her name. And
How would you feel if, I'm not trying to pick on you, Kim, but how would you feel if one of your students was coming to you and said, hey, so and so, this teacher, look at the messages they're sending me, and they were messages like this? Would you be angry? Would you be, bound by duty, you'd have to report it. But how would you feel after hours? Would it make you sick? Would it anger you? Would it feel like a betrayal of professional courtesy? How would it feel? Or any of y'all, if y'all had, I know some of your children are older, but let's say you have nieces and nephews or grandchildren or whatever, and you found out that the teacher was sending them inappropriate messages, how would you react to that? Yeah, I can imagine, because it's hard to look at a coworker like that, especially when they're blatantly breaking the rules, because we get trained on that every year. Ethics, 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 sexual harassment, all these trainings every year. You can't tell me this teacher didn't know.
I'm familiar with her profile name because she's messaged me through Instagram as well. So I showed my husband the conversation, and then when he came home, we talked to my son, and we told him, we need you to be completely honest right now. We already know the answer to everything we're going to ask, so we just need you to tell us the truth. And so my husband just told him, okay, have you done anything with your teacher? Did you have sex with your teacher? He said yes.
He said yes. Okay. Did he elaborate any more on that, or?
We asked him. We said, how did this happen? And so he told us that when he asked for permission to stay after school to help with the township to set up any posters, and he said that that's what happened. That everybody was saying goodbye, and he went back to the classroom to get his backpack, and in the classroom is what happened. We found out that on the weekend that he went to stay with his grandparents, she contacted him on his phone and asked him where he was, got him to give her the address of my in-laws' house, told my son, my husband's fishing, I want to see you. And that was the first time that she did anything.
The boys.
Oh my God, like she is a predator. Groomed a child and then preyed upon his innocence. Does anybody disagree with that? It's okay to disagree. But how could the teacher not be at fault here? I don't know how much culpability I would place on the parents, but I definitely put full responsibility on the school district and the teacher, because it is their obligation to know who they're hiring. Even if she had an exemplary resume, you still watch these teachers. That is your responsibility. You cannot let your guard down.
His father taking matters into his own hands.
But the way we actually confirmed is I told my son, you're going to Texas, bitch. I'm sorry to use this language, you guys want the truth. And I said, you're going to trap her. You're going to make her tell me everything through these messages. I can show you right now what the messages say, and you guys have the stomach to believe it.
After learning about these messages and the abuse, the boy's parents call police. They also get a call from Brittany Zamora herself.
What type of perverted person are you? I want to know right now.
A father demanding a response from his son's 6th grade teacher.
You're a child molester. Do you understand me? No.
Why do you say that?
Oh, see, I'm a lot smarter than you.
Can we meet, to talk about this? Maybe something we can settle out, outside?
Oh yeah, that's what we can do. So I can give you a chance to do it to some other kid. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. No. And make sure you tell your husband what's going on.
He's right here. Can he talk to you?
Oh yeah, put your husband on the phone.
She's done so much, and she made a huge mistake. The biggest mistake of anybody could ever make in the whole entire world. But she think about, God preaches forgiveness, man.
Your wife decided to be a monster and prey on a child. She scarred my son mentally. Do you understand what a 13-year-old boy did? Having sex with a teacher? Do you get that at all? Do me a favor. Do not call this number back again. The next time you'll hear from me will be in court.
After talking to the parents on March 22nd, 2018.
Did her husband really take up for her? Did y'all hear what I heard? Her husband was really like making this like not big of a deal. And then to say, God forbid, forgive, I understand that. But this is not the time or the place to be putting that in this context. She broke the law. She broke the law. You can't just excuse everything away by putting a Bible verse next to it. You can't. And I'm not saying that to be anti-Christian. I'm just saying, she broke the law. She needs to pay. She scarred this child.
Police arrest Brittany Zamora.
Yeah. Or this officer has a body cam on him as well. So,
she was on her way to school.
Brittany, I'm going to turn your wrist in here, okay? Do you have anything on you that's going to hurt me, poke me, stick me, Brittany? Open up your mouth. Lift up your tongue. I'm going to take your necklace off as well. I will help you. I know it's a big step.
I'm only 5 foot.
I know.
Zamora is taken to the Goodyear police station.
Go over to that wall. This way. This way.
And there's no way I can call my husband or anything?
They'll talk to you and everything, explain what they're doing, but just sit tight, okay?
For just over 10 minutes, a detective tries to talk to Zamora about what happened.
Did they tell you why you're here? They didn't tell you why you're under arrest?
No.
Okay. It's involving that relationship with... Okay.
Can I have an interview?
You can. Is that what you want? Okay.
Will I be going home today?
She's told she's going to jail.
I'm little. They're gonna tear me apart.
Well, if you have problems with somebody, you can voice that to somebody, okay? And if there are problems, they can isolate you.
I am the best husband in the world.
Can you put my hair in front of my face?
Like that?
No, in front.
In front. I'm sorry. You'll be fine, okay?
We have to stop by them or we just pass them?
We have to go in the door by them, okay?
So we're not stopping?
If you want to keep your head down, you can.
Ms. Zamora, did you have an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old boy, one of your students?
For more than a year after her arrest, Zamora denied the sexual abuse allegations, also turning down any request to talk to the media. Her husband declined to comment. The victim's family also suing the school for failing to report the possible abuse sooner. The school and principal deny any wrongdoing.
I didn't want to blow it up you know?
More than a year after her arrest, a tearful Zamora stated she was guilty of sexually assaulting her sixth grade student and faces more than 20 years behind bars.
Do you wish to plead guilty to each of these charges?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I think I watched this one day and I was like in shock because, she looked so happy with her husband. She was married. How could you just go from that to grooming a child and then doing what she did? It's just tragic. And it's all over YouTube. Like, you can just type that in or you can watch a video and there's like 10 other ones that are going to pop up. You're right, Kim. The principal was wrong. Should have notified authorities immediately. You're right. Oh, not the little girl routine. Yeah, and the crying. She don't care about the 13-year-old that she messed up. Yeah, her husband said that. So I hope y'all enjoyed that for tonight. I mean, I really didn't have anything planned, but I'm glad it went how it went. It seemed to be very informative and a different type of true crime. Anything to kind of get our minds off the Idaho 4 for a couple of hours, because it's going to be like 2 weeks long worth of speculations, trying to understand what they said in court. I didn't even watch it. I was in court myself all day. I was on the road all day, so I was thankful I didn't watch any of that. Will I watch it? Probably not. I don't care to because, um, like somebody said earlier, it is the most basic stuff that you learn in criminal justice as far as the courses. So I don't want to go to school watching a hearing. You know what I mean? You're right. True crime is true crime. And probably next time I'll talk about the guns and stuff as far as the schools and the active shooters and things like that. I think that needs to be shown as well, because we're all part of this world. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it until you really get to the point where you have a clear head because there's so many people quoting wrong stuff about the hearing based on their understanding that isn't even probably right. Because I'm sure all they did today would just present a lot of information. One was for the move, one was against the move, and the judge had to decide through all the drama what he wants to do. So, one way or the other, there's going to be some happy people and then there's going to be some unhappy people. And if whatever side they're on, they're going to be unhappy because they're automatically fearing the worst. Well, what if that jury in Latah County is unbiased and they do give him a fair trial? If they do find him guilty, are you automatically going to use that as a cop out? They only found him guilty because of the jury. Folks, y'all need to understand that no matter what happens, he gets appeal after appeal after appeal, no matter what happens. So, this could be going on for years. I hate to say that, but it could. But anyways, enough of that case. I really hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful night. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's try to make it through Friday the best that we can with our happy face on and everything going great. Can you dig it? Let me hear you say you can dig it. I guess that's going to be a new saying. I've never said that before, but it kind of sounds lame but cool at the same time. Can you dig it? Good night, everybody. Let the maestro cue the music, and let the music kind of take you out. Let me see you type it. Can you dig it? Good. You can dig it. All right. So let the maestro take you out with some music.
Yeah. Unknown Brain, Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous. I know that I gotta stay away from all your games, yeah. I know that I found somebody else to love me today. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye. So now I gotta say yeah, my life is lovely now, I'm focused on me. You said you were about to die, I guess the car is on E. But see, I ain't even tripping, cause I just chose to believe that somebody gon' come around and give me just what I need. I don't wanna see you flying, see you looking down and out, coming to me crying, saying you miss having me around. Gave you chances and you blew it, you so easily influenced. All the times you told me beat it, now you gotta face